Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another video. Today I will be doing the famous mid-year book tag. Last year I didn't do this tag. I haven't done it for a couple of years actually. So I thought this year, since I was very much intentional with when it comes to my reading, I thought it will be a good time to do this tag. We are halfway in the year. It's June already. What the heck? I will just go through all of the famous questions that you guys perhaps already know. Let's get right into it. First one is the best book that you have read so far. That really sticks out to me is Writers and Lovers by Lily King. This one we're following an aspiring writer who is living the day-to-day life with all of the things that she is going through, such as like grief, questioning some of her love interest, questioning the path that she has chosen to go through, which is becoming a writer. I want to say identity issues as well. Grief is such a big thing when it comes to this book. We see how that has affected her in her day-to-day life and how she has decided to make decisions sometimes based on the grief that she has felt, and just how she has chosen to move in certain relationships. Like, it's very mundane, it's very, I don't want to say simple, because I think being able to write mundane days of someone just going to work as a waitress, explaining or showing the things that she's able to see, as well as just expressing what she has felt during those mundane days, is kind of like amazing to me. Being simple sometimes is the best thing. I know that this book is kind of like marketed as like a love triangle. It is in some instances, but I didn't necessarily feel the love triangle. There was only one love interest that we got to see quite a lot of, and the other one was in the background, very muted. I really love this book. I loved this kind of like lit fic genre, as well as women going through things. I also loved how it touched me, as I love books that are centered around grief, the exploration of that as well. I think the writing of this book is like so amazing. There are so many lines that are underlined, and it's one of like the best book that I've read so far this year. I don't want to give too much on other ones, but this one definitely takes the cup. Second question is the best sequel that you have read so far. Who wants to take a guess? For me, best sequel is definitely Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. We are following the same couple, which is Kiki and Malachi, and we see a lot of their relationship after university. We get to see them not being together. We get to see why they broke up, how their lives basically look now, especially now that they'll be meeting for the first time after they've broken up for their best friend's wedding, and they are of course best men and maid of honor. We get to see them going through these emotions in real time and remembering so many things about their relationship. And I just loved how Bolu, it felt so real that she put all of these trials and tribulations in their relationships. I felt like they were truly tested, especially after being in university. They kind of had to be outside of that cocoon, be in the real world. They do go through some really difficult things. Grief is explored here as well. Identity, career, just being young, how to show up for your people, not only just for your relationships, as well as for your friendships. You're in your 20s or early 30s, you get to question a lot of things, not only about your career, but just the life decisions that you've made. I absolutely loved how Bolu did this. I found it so beautiful to see. I think we deserve a lot of Black love represented in the literature that we read, and I absolutely love Kiki and Malachi. I feel like this book is so Black. The way music is so center stage in this book really made me happy as a music lover myself. You get to see what really inspires Bolu and what she actually likes as well, and she shows a lot of Black culture in this book as well. It's so amazing. It's second chance. I want to say there's so much yearning, like from the boy's point of view. Even though you don't get Malachi's point of view, you get to feel his yearning through how Kiki sees him, and this is the best sequel of this year. Third one is releases that I haven't read yet. I do have a couple. The first one being Kin by Tyree Jones. I know that this one is about motherhood, sisterhood, as well as being a daughter to no one in a way, because I know that it follows two Black women in the South. They're orphans, they don't have any mothers, so we get to see them kind of grow up and face all of these challenges of not having a mother, but having each other to kind of like lean on, because I think they grew up together. I think the only book that I've read by Tayari Jones is An American Marriage, which was one of my pleasant surprised favorite books at that time. I think I read it 2020, if not 2021. Not only is this cover amazing, but I think the story and how I imagine Tayari Jones will write this book will be a favorite of mine. It's a book that I'm looking forward to reading. Another one which might come to a surprise to some people who have followed me on this channel, I have some weird feelings when it comes to this author, is Missed Connections by Tia Williams. This one, we're going to be following a girl who's going to be looking for a guy, or in search of a guy that she had met in a flight, and they had like this like sparks, great connection, a couple of hours I guess that they spent together. They don't exchange any numbers, and she goes on this journey kind of like looking for him. I like the premise of this book, I don't want to lie. I'm really scared to how it will be executed. There's only one book by Tia Williams that I absolutely loved, which was 7 Days in June. A couple of people who got an arc of this book really loved it. They had high praise for it. I'm looking forward to see what I think of it as well. Fourth question is my most anticipated book of 2026. I don't think we're all gonna be shocked when I say it is Score by Kennedy Ryan. This is the second book, or is the sequel. I think this is going to be a trilogy. So this is the second book in the Harlem Renaissance series. The first one is Real, where we are following an actress and a director. This one, I think we're going to be following two musicians, or like composers, I think, like Score, which is like, you know, when people make scores for movies. So I like that play. Also, it's because there's a lot of hype around this book, and knowing Kennedy Ryan, am I surprised? A lot of hype about this book. I have never seen one single bad review. As you guys know, I am a big fan of Kennedy Ryan. She is one of my auto-buy authors. I love her. Like, I want to read her grocery list. That's how obsessed I am with her. This book is a book a lot of people say it really resonated to them. It still had the writing that we all love from Kennedy Ryan, the emotional roller coaster that it takes you, but they also say it's one of her spiciest books. I want to see how she does that, as in her other books there is a lot of spice, but it doesn't overkill the romance. I'm really looking forward to reading this books, but yeah, Score is like my most anticipated, so kind of like my 5-star prediction, to be honest. Fifth question is my biggest surprise. So I will do 2 good surprise and then 2 bad surprise. My first 2 good surprise, Bride by Ellie Hazelwood. I was pleasantly surprised by this book. We are following a werewolf and a vampire in this book. It has a lot of mystery. It has a lot of love, a lot of angst, a lot of tension. It is also a marriage of convenience. I forgot her name, but I remember the guy's name because she gets to marry this werewolf who is low, and it is a marriage of convenience, as the two species need to kind of like have a treaty of some sort. You get to see her live in werewolf territory and be around werewolves and learn a lot about werewolves. And the mystery part is that this girl believes that her new husband is actually involved in the disappearance of her best friend, so she is kind of like snooping around trying to figure out where her best friend is. I really loved everything. And I loved how we got to see Lo from the girl's point of view, and we get to see him a little bit in every single chapter. We get to hear some of his thoughts, and I thought that was done well. Another great surprise is Yinka, Where Is Your Husband by Liz Damilola Blackburn. This was my first time actually reading anything by this author. I really loved it. One of the blurb by Emily Hendry says, like Bridget Jones, Yinka is a lovable and relatable disaster, and I couldn't agree more. This one we're following Yinka, who is in search of a date for her cousin's wedding. Basically kind of like the only one who is necessarily interested in getting a husband, while her entire family is kind of like, girl, when are you getting married? When are you having kids? Your peers are on their second children and celebrated 5 years being married. What's going on with you? And we get to see her try all of these different costumes to appease to a certain kind of demographic of men that she wants to be with. Get to explore a lot of things when it comes to like being black in London, also being a Nigerian first daughter, being black in working spaces, and just trying to figure out where does she fit in when it comes to her career, trying to decide between the thing that everybody else wants her to do to the things that she truly loves. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. It really felt like like watching one of your favorite comfort shows or one of your favorite movies about like self-discovery and self-love as well. So now we go to the bad surprise. The first one is No Ordinary Love by Mia Ariel. This one is supposed to follow a pop star and a baseball player who kind of like fake dates after a certain kind of incident that happened, whilst the pop star, who is the girl, was going through like a divorce of some sort. The way that it was presented, obviously with the tropes of like fake dating, a pop star and a baseball player, black love, I had huge expectations. I wanted to love this book so much, but it did let me down. I didn't understand how the fake dating fit in when the girl was also trying to get a divorce in the midst, and I also didn't understand where the romance was coming from. I felt like our main characters were very rigid. I didn't relate or feel something towards them or had any interest towards them, and yeah, it was a letdown. And the second one is In Her Own League by Liz Tomford. It's one of the books in the CT series. The series is a very beloved series, and I also love it as well. One of my favorite books from this series is Caught Up. I don't think I read the other two, like Play Along and Rewind It Back, but I was really looking forward to In Her Own League. We first meet the couple in Caught Up, and the small interaction that they did have, I absolutely loved it. I was like, with this small interaction, Liz Tomford has to give us their book because I want to know the story. It is kind of like an enemies or kind of like a dislike to lovers, as we're following a coach and a owner of the baseball club league, and we get to follow their story. Reese is basically the first female owner of the baseball club, so there's a lot of backlash there, and a lot of press believes that she's not going to do a good job. A lot of things is riding on her proving herself in this one specific season, and we see Monty basically kind of like holding her hand, and they work very closely to each other, like strategizing on how they should go about bringing the team to success and them winning a championship. I enjoyed seeing the other couples in this book much more than I actually enjoyed being in Monty and Reese's world. I had huge expectations. One of my favorite tropes when it comes to romance is an age gap, kind of like single dad, and Monty was such a great dad to Mela in Caught Up that I was like, I want to hear his story. Everything was just kind of like, man, like I didn't find the writing to be very polished. It didn't feel structured well for me to enjoy the story, and that's all I had to say for it. Maybe Liz Tomford should have taken a couple of years before she gave us Monty. I was prepared to wait. I think I would have been okay if only for her to like take more time into making the story better. I don't know, am I making sense or am I being too harsh? Let me know. Favorite new authors, have two, which is gonna be Lily King as well as Lizzie Damilola Blackburn. Lily King, who wrote Writers and Lovers, and I cannot wait to actually read Heart of the Lover, as Lizzie Damilola Blackburn of Yinka, Where's Your Husband. I'm not sure if she does have any other books, but I am looking forward to read anything that she writes. Seventh question is new favorite crush of 2026. It's Maverick from Can't Get Enough. This man is perfect. He is not only rich, but he is also very generous, very considerate, very understanding, very loving, very caring. Everything that is perfect and honest and transparent and hot. It's just, he's beautiful. Love that he was so understanding towards Hendrix and everything that she went through. And one of the things that I absolutely loved was how he was catering to Hendrix and all of her needs. He is absolutely the most perfect man, and I will be thinking about him very, very, very long time. And yeah, guys, keep in mind, this man is words on paper. Favorite crush, newest crush, love him so much. Eighth question is a book that made me cry. So fun fact about me, if you're new on this channel, I love books that make me cry. I will intentionally seek out titles that people have said they have cried to and read those books because I also want to cry. And the one that I cried to this year, like sobbed, The Kite Runner by Khalid Hossain. This one, we're following two boys who grew up together, Amir and Hassan. I think in their early teenagers, I think around 11 or 12. Something happens to them that kind of like defines the rest of their lives, and also builds a huge bridge over their relationship, as though they were really close, but because of this thing happening, there was a bridge. You see a lot of things from Amir's point of view, as he's the one who's telling us the story. It was heartbreaking, the things that happen in this book. Khalid will make most purest, most good person in the book. They will go through the most pain. When I tell you that Hassan didn't deserve any single thing that happened to him, and he still had that heart. Book, not only is the writing beautiful, it's like tugs at your heartstrings, but the context of that book, the effect of the war, the pain that Amir felt, the pain that Hassan felt. Yeah, absolutely love this book. Definitely made me cry. Sometimes just like thinking about Hassan and the things that he went through, I'm just like, cut cameras. Books that made me happy. One is In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams. Romance set in Kentucky, Rome, kind of like interconnected standalones. One of my favorite booktubers basically raved about this book. Let me read it. I don't know what I was going through, but I was like, let me read it. I love this book. It made me so giddy, so happy inside. I think it's because I saw a lot of myself. But I got the girl's name, but we see her struggling to make it in New York as a chef, and she decides to move home. And her moving home, James basically offers her a position as a chef, or the main chef for a restaurant that he will be opening in his family ranch. So we basically see them work together, building the restaurants, coming up with menus and working together. I love James as well. It was such a perfect MMC, how he catered to the girl and how he showed up for her. He's such a perfect like act of service example for me. This book, I was smiling a lot when I was reading this book, so it's definitely me happy. The other one is Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. I can't rave about this book enough. In Kiki and Malachi, as I've said, just one of those black characters that I think we need to see more of, like how black and how carefree they are and how honest they are with each other, and how friendship, like that found family feeling in this book. It literally made me happy to see two young black people falling in love again with each other, understanding that there are so many versions of the person that you love that you fall in love with. I was smiling a lot when I was reading this book. It really brought a lot of happiness. Another question is beautiful covers that I have bought this year. The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abidare. Love this cover. I think it's really gorgeous. The colors of it, as well as this is a Duni. It's so beautiful. Another one that I'm like, I'm gonna talk about Sweet Heat a lot. Tell you this cover, isn't it perfect? Like this cover is one of the most beautiful, I think it's one of the most beautiful covers I own. This is Kiki, her apartment, the sun. I think this is the sunset. Also the colors, because Old Flame returns. It's like the different shades of a fire. Am I making sense? But also like the different shades of the sunset. You get what I mean? This book is just spectacular to me. Like, gorgeous. Last one is books I want to read before the year ends. I have a lot of books, okay? Some of them have been on this TBR for like years, okay? And I'm very determined to read all of these books, but these ones are my main focus. Like these 4 ones, probably I'm gonna do a reading vlog of them soon. First one is Under the Udila Trees by Chinelo. I know that this is a historical fiction following 2 girls during the Nigerian Civil War. A lot of people have loved this book. I feel like I'm the only person who hasn't read this book, and I want to know what is it that the people really love. But this is one book that I do not want 2026 to end without me reading it. Second one is All Gomoras Are the Same by Tenjiwe Mswane. This is also a big fan favorite. A lot of my mutuals really love this book. I also want to see the hype. Another series that I do want to read, the Poppy War series by R.F. Kuang. I read one book by R.F. Kuang last year, which was my first time reading her, and I absolutely fell in love with her writing. I know that this is a fantasy book. I want to see how her writing changes from lit fic one, which was Yellowface, that I read last year. I'm not a big fantasy girl, so it's one of the book series that I do want to read this year. Lastly, a nonfiction one is Finding Me by Viola Davis. Also, I feel like I'm the only person who hasn't read this book, so I'm really looking forward into tackling this one. That is all for this mid-year book tag. Let me know what you guys have read for this year so far. Let me know your 5-star reads actually down below in the comments down below. If you have read any of these books, let's talk about them down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, mwah, bye.